We had another Grizzlies related question from Kim, basically saying, let's talk about the Grizzlies, guys. And this, look, the trigger point here is Chris Fedor of Cleveland.com reported that Kyle Anderson and Dillon Brooks are available for the right price. I buy that. That might seem a little bit weird given how much Dillon Brooks did for you on defense last year, especially sort of his coming out party in the postseason for people that hadn't watched a ton of the Grizzlies. You're also looking at him entering the first year of a 3-year, $35 million extension. So why give up on him now? Kyle Anderson, similarly, this is just someone who showed that he could hit threes at a 36% clip for the entire year. Does a lot for you on defense. Isn't super quick. Knows how to use space to his advantage. A quirky, herky-jerky game on offense, but he's a mid-range savant, shot over 50% from mid-range this past year. If you're the Grizzlies and you're trying to compete now, why would you get rid of either of them? Are the Grizzlies trying to compete now? I'm not saying that they're tanking, but everything they've done over the offseason, from taking on Steven Adams' money to the trade with the Clippers to cut that Eric Bledsoe partial guarantee from next year while just taking on immediate money, from drafting Ziaire Williams at number 10, who was billed as a project. Then after watching him in Summer League, I'm just wondering if he is as much as a project. He looked good in Summer League. Needs to probably put on more weight. We could say that about a ton of the rookies right now. Everything they've done, though, points to a team that is just prioritizing the longer haul. And so let's look at Kyle Anderson entering free agency next summer. Are you going to pay to keep him around? You're not a glamour market, so your cap space that you do seem to be conserving, even though you took on Steven Adams' money, you got rid of Jonas Valanciunas, who would have commanded a new contract after the season, potentially worth more than the $70.9 million that Steven Adams is going to make in 2023. I don't want to spin that as, the Grizzlies were like subtly cutting money there by doing that, because you could have just let Jonas Valanciunas walk for nothing. But still, based on the picks that they've taken on or just amassed over the past two off seasons, having Utah's in 2020. They have Utah's in 2022. It's protected, loosely protected Golden State pick in 2024. They have that LA Lakers pick now in 2022, I believe, after the deal with the Pelicans moving up in the draft for Ziaire Williams. So they just seem so concerned about the longer term. And by extension, trying to get as many bites at the co-star apple for John Morant as possible. Probably because I don't know that they could be sure that Jaren Jackson Jr. is that guy. I'm not reading too much into last season when he missed a ton of time, came back, and it just felt like he never got his bearings about him. But I don't think you could look at him and say, that's definitely the number 2 guy on a really ridiculously good team. You know you have the number 1 guy, that type of building block in John Morant. Is Jaren Jackson that second guy? I don't know. So now they've maybe expanded Desmond Bane's role. They're going to give Ziaire Williams a chance. They've accumulated these other picks to either use in a draft or maybe go out and strike a trade if the right player becomes available for them. Why pay Kyle Anderson, especially when he's going to be in demand around the league? Maybe they could. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Kyle Anderson's a really good player, but he's entering an expiring deal. You can even make the same case with the Anthony Melton, even though his name hasn't cropped up. Like, maybe you should shop these guys around just to sort of see what they're going to get. In Dillon Brooks's case, I just think relying on him is an increasingly fragile existence. You can bank on him just being a really physical defender, but offensively, there's going to be high variance in his performances from night to night. He can be gritty. Excuse me, as I said, it is now 4:48 in the morning on the East Coast while recording this. But Dillon Brooks going to give you a physical presence on offense too, can really bully his way to baskets, but he's also going to have like that prime Michael Jordan shot selection without the results on certain nights. And so if you can sell high on him now, leading into the season, when the last impression of him is someone who was playing at an all defense level for much of last year, why not at least look at it? Can you get another top pick? Are you maybe going to clear some money off your books for next summer? Get a player who maybe feels more of a need. And the other element here for these two guys would be, if you are more invested in the longer term, moving either one of them is just going to open up more minutes for Desmond Bane and Ziaire Williams on the wings. Moving Dillon Brooks probably more so than Kyle Anderson, because he can play 2, 3, 4. And Brooks, I don't really think you want to play him up that high. And so you're looking at more of 2 of 3, which is where you're going to put Ziaire Williams and Desmond Bane, I would think. So unless you really think that Dillon Brooks is the secondary ball handler for this team long term, which I would argue he is not, why not look at what you could get for him via trade?